In today's video, I'm going to take you through my full live trading session. I'm exiting $9,000 trade, Fusion Markets, live account, not demo. You guys will see my entries, my exits, my thought processes behind everything. I'm the only trader that trades on a live account with a regulated broker, and hopefully you guys can learn something from this. First things first, on the right here is TradingView because it's simply the best for markups and analysis. Up on the left here is my trading journal, and down here on the bottom left is Fusion Markets, my regulated broker that I have a live account, not demo, that you guys can see my live P&L here. The first thing I do every single morning is I break down all these markets here, top-down analysis. So I'll start on the daily, work my way down to the 5-minute, and look for my entry model off of significant support and resistance levels. And if you guys haven't seen my strategy yet, you can go to this dashboard right here, ascendantacademy.ca/dashboard, and learn my strategy completely for free, or on my YouTube channel as well. So that's the strategy I'm going to be using, is my KCZ strategy. So working on the US 30 on the daily, we're clearly rejecting off of this big support resistance level up here, and we broke through this one, and now we're kind of wicking off of the bottom one right here. So let's go down to the 1 hour because things will be more apparent. So the thing that I would be looking for is for it to actually have a bounce here. So possible longs on US 30 for the 1 hour time frame, looking for it to do something like that. And clearly the move kind of got away from us because my entry model did show this would be the first test, these would be the second rejections, and now it's showing signs of rejections back up. We kind of missed the move, so I don't know if I really want to enter right now. But since we are trading above this area, it's possible that we're using it as support now, and it's going to continue pushing up to fill to the top side. But I'm not interested in US 30 right now since it is a little later in the session as well. It's 12:40 p.m. and New York Open for me is at 7:30, so it's a few hours. I'm hopping on a little late. Moving on to Euro USD, we've been skyrocketing for the longest time. No sign of slowing down, so that is also why I'm not even going to break this down, because I wouldn't even want to trade it really, just because we don't really know what it's going to be doing while it's skyrocketing like this. Moving on to Solana, one of my favorite markets to trade. We tanked down off of this massive macro daily support resistance level at the top, and clearly we're starting to show signs of rejections back to the top side, especially with these two green candle closes right here. So we would just be looking for momentum areas to join, which we also missed it right here as well, because clearly we found resistance at this 5-minute support range, and we are rejecting off of it to the top side. We missed it. That's unfortunate. So I'm not interested in that. Bitcoin daily time frame, same thing. Bitcoin is usually reflective of all the crypto markets, so whatever Bitcoin is doing, usually every other crypto market follows suit. So we tanked off a massive macro daily support resistance level. Solana did the same thing, and now we're starting to show signs of rejections back up. So let's go down to the 1 hour, and we are assuming this overall downtrend, and we are finding some kind of resistance at this price range. Even right now, we had a big rejection off of it, but now we're starting to come back up. And I would be interested in it flagging back down for shorts. But the thing is, I think this might be the turning point of it to finally break up above this 1 hour support right here and then continue trading up like I have marked out. But on the 5-minute, we will have to wait to see what these next couple 5-minute candle closes do. If we get rejections off of it again like this, then I might go short for it to continue dropping. But if we do end up breaking above this little price range and start using these highs as support, I'll be interested in going long off of it, coming back for a retest of that support like that, and then I would enter long there. But we'll see if that plays out. For the time being though, we could have entered my FOMO entry right here for short positions, but clearly we'd probably be coming back up to get stopped out. So it's a good thing we didn't take that. GU, usually doing the same thing as Euro USD, clearly, as you can tell. And we're getting to the top of these highs here. So the thing I'd be looking for is for it to have some kind of rejection back down. And we're starting to show some kind of resistance now. and we are floating at the top side of it, so it could be smart to go short here just for it to aim to fill these lows to the bottom of this little 5-minute key consolidation zone. So that's interesting. In the next 2 minutes, if we get a red candle close, I might take that. USD CAD had a big tank sesh. I called this out in the free Discord, this big swing sell, and I closed it out for like over $100,000 on my investor account. But now we're getting down to this major daily support resistance level, and we're starting to wick off of it. So that means on the smaller time frames that we are rejecting off of it. So I could take my FOMO entry off of this, aiming for it to continue going long and fill this price imbalance right here. So I'm interested in a couple things. The one I'm most interested in is probably Bitcoin, because I want to see if it'll reject like it did here hard one last time before it continues trading up. So I'm actually going to set my alert at this red line, and then I'm going to set one for underneath the most recent green candle close. And then for US 30 or GU, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to set an alert above the most recent highs and then above the most recent lows. And then for Solana, I'm not interested in that, not interested in Euro USD. So the only trades that are looking like that could have some kind of bounce that I could predict and take advantage of for scalping purposes would be Bitcoin or GU. But we'll see what happens with Bitcoin, if it wants to continue pushing up or not. So the next thing, we just have to wait for market to hit one of my alerts, and then from there I'll update you guys with what I do with the trade or if I take one or not. It is later in the session, and clearly we could have taken some of my entry model earlier today around when I usually start trading, is usually around 9. So 9 to 9:30 is when I usually start trading, and clearly we missed out on this big sell, but we would have caught that. That's unfortunate, but you know what? Sometimes life gets to you and you have to get on the charts later or just the next day, and that's exactly what happened today. So we had a bit of a push up on Bitcoin, and now it's starting to show signs of flagging down off of this price area. I don't even think it's that ideal to be trading right now, even or to try to force a trade right now, but I might risk it for the biscuit on my FOMO entry. Just looking for it to come back down and fill somewhere down here for a quick entry and exit. I'm gonna have a pretty tight stop loss right there, just aiming for it to fill somewhere down here, and then hopefully we can exit and continue on with this little bit of selling pressure. But like I said, this is a very high risky trade, or high risk trade, I should say, in general, just because I don't know if it's flagging down right now, and we have a lot of selling pressure right now. But we will see what happens if we want to get a few more red candle closes to the downside right now. So I just entered the position. My stops are above the most recent high, so if it does want to continue on the buying pressure, I get out of the position immediately so I don't have to lose more than I should. But like I said, I shouldn't even be trading right now. This is a super dumb trade, super late into the session, and I'm kind of just forcing it right now. And I'm just betting that this is a significant flagging spot in this overall downtrend, since we are getting some kind of resistance off of it right now. But I think the probability of this just being a small little flag before it rages up some more is pretty high. But I'm just looking for a quick entry and exit, so I'm going to be sitting here managing it pretty aggressively. And if we get stopped out, we get stopped out, then that's the trading session, because I'm not going to be taking any more trades this late. It's like 2 p.m. So boom, we just got stopped out. Would you look at that? So sometimes you got to force trades for the content reasons. So the next spot I'd be looking for is for it to reject off of this area up here. So yeah, if we start to show massive signs of rejections off of this area, then I might take that. We will see if I get an alert later on in the day. Okay, so we had a bit of a push up on Bitcoin. Now we're starting to show some kind of rejections to the downside for my FOMO entry off of this support resistance level up in this blue box here. So I'm taking the FOMO entry yet again to see if this is the reversal point in this overall uptrend, see if we get a flag down, and then hopefully we can exit on top of today, because right now I journaled the trade. Right now we're currently down $6,000 off of this trade. And if this one pushes down somewhere around here, we should be up pretty healthily, but we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that at the very least we'll get some kind of flag down to these lows here, and then I can exit the trade. And that should bring me out on top for the day if that happens. But if not, then if this trade gets spiked out 100%, I'll probably be done for the day. Unless we come back up and show clearer signs of my entry model where it'd be like a clean touch like that, comes back down for a retest, and then I would enter off the regular entry of my entry model for something like that. But that would be later on in the day if this plays out like that, or if market plays out like that. But sometimes, especially with crypto, that FOMO entry is the correct entry to be taking, because sometimes it doesn't even do that. Sometimes it just starts to tank down like that. So the FOMO entry would be the correct one. So that's why I'm risking it again on another FOMO entry of my entry model rather than waiting for my regular entry. So let's see what happens with this trade. Let's just sit back and relax and watch it. So we're starting to get a bit of a breakdown now, and hopefully it continues on with this little bit of selling pressure. The thing that I like about this trade is how we're kind of using this little 5-minute structure as resistance now, which further confirms that maybe we are going to be flagging down further than what we already are. But if we do flip green and start using it as support, something like that, then we probably will be pushing up more, and then this would be the bottom of the flag. But hopefully it continues pushing down. I want it to fill to at least here, and then I'll think about closing the position. We're starting to get more of a push down, waiting for it to push down a little bit more, and then I might trail my stop pretty aggressively, because if I were to close the trade right now, we would be break even on the day. But I want to exit the day with a few $1,000s at the very least, especially since we timed this trade correctly. So let's see if we can push down around the $8,000 to $10,000 range. I might exit the trade, and then that'll be the trading session. So we're continuing the selling pressure here. I'm actually going to trail my stop maybe, or I might just exit the trade here. I would like to exit it around the $10,000 mark, but since this is kind of a significant price area where it has bounced before, it's possible that it bounces again and comes up for a flag before it continues pushing down. Or it's possible that this is just overall the reversal area to continue the uptrend. So I would much rather close while we're ahead and in profit than not. So I'm exiting. So that's the trade for you guys. It was like a $9,000 trade. So let's check it really quick. I'm sure it will continue pushing down, but if you guys have been following my trading videos, I almost never hold it to full take profit. And the reason being is because I'm actually trading a live account, which I can withdraw. And I'm a firm believer that when you're trading live capital, or if you're trading a prop firm account, which you can withdraw, you should always exit trades when you're ahead and when you're in profit, or at the very least trail your stop. So I should have been trailing my stop pretty aggressively, because if it does want to continue pushing down, then I could milk out more profits. But either way, I'd much rather close the trade than it flag up and then come back down, and then I have to wait through that flag before it continues coming down. Or if I trailed my stop, I would get stopped out when it does come back up for that flag, if it wants to continue pushing down or not. I would much rather just lock in profits when I got them. Like, there's no reason for me to be up $9,000 and then go back to break even just for it to come back into $9,000 profit. Like, in my head, that doesn't really make sense. And like, I don't really give a fuck about trading stats. And I'm currently up. Well, I guess this trade will bring me up to like $40,000. So after I journal it, we'll be up $40,000 for the month, and only one red day so far after I'm finishing journaling this one. So I'm going to journal this trade. All I'm trying to say is lock in profits when you got them, when you're trading actual money that you can withdraw. And you shouldn't care about your trading stats, and you shouldn't hold a trade longer than you should when you're already ahead in the trade, or it's already pushed enough into your analysis, just because you have this weird thing of wanting the best trading stats. Trading stats don't mean shit. So I'm going to journal this trade, and I'll break it down for you guys one last time. Okay, so I took 2 trades in the session. Both of them were on Bitcoin, both going short. The first trade got hit. I thought this was going to be a turning point in this overall uptrend here. Clearly it wasn't, so that's the main reason why it lost, is because I didn't wait for it to get closer to a significant support level. So I got spiked out of that one for a $6,000 loss. And overall, I wasn't that confident in the trade. So out of 10, I had a 3 out of 10 for my confidence level on the first trade. The second trade was still a FOMO entry, but it was off of a major support resistance level up here. So my confidence level on this one was a 6, just because it was a FOMO entry. And it was a winner for $9,000. And obviously we are starting to have a flag up. So like I said before, I'd much rather cut the trade while I'm ahead than have to give back profits just for it to give me back those profits in 10 minutes or whatever. So overall for the day, 2 trades, 1 win, 1 loss, 50% win rate. Net P&L was $2,994.58. Not too bad of a trading session for it being so late in the trading session, but overall, I like to get my trading done between 9 and 11 a.m. my time. That's just when it seems to work out the best for me. But nonetheless, we still got a solid move here, and it still looks healthy to continue pushing down, especially since there hasn't been any candle closes right here. So maybe I should have been trailing my stop, but either way, where I would have trailed my stop right here and I would have got stopped out, and that probably would have just put me at break even instead. So I'm good with closing the trade where I did. So as you guys can see the positions there on my trading view. And then like I always show you guys, we're on a live account with Fusion Markets. Here's my history. If you guys can see, it's a little jank because of support thing right here, but this is the trades right here. Live account with a regulated broker. Nobody else trades on a regulated broker on a live account. Anyways, I hope you guys like this type of video. And if you guys do, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment, and join my free Discord.